Before dawn broke, the darkness still covering the sea, the fishermen were already on deck. The hoarse sound of diesel engines vibrated gently. The nets were carefully checked. Each buoy, each mesh was checked by the workers as if they were checking their own heartbeats. The smell of engine oil, sea salt, and dried fish mixed with the wind created a distinctive smell that only those who had lived at sea could understand. They were preparing for a long voyage, which could last from several days to a week. Searching for giant schools of tuna, mackerel, and herring moving in the deep water. Japan is one of the first countries in Asia to apply the industrial-scale Seine technique. The ships are more than 70 meters long, equipped with sonar systems to detect fish schools, GPS positioning, automatic net pulling machines, and deep freeze warehouses that can keep hundreds of tons of fish at -40 degrees Celsius. But behind all that technology are people, fishermen who still carry the samurai spirit of the sea. When the captain gives the order, the entire crew immediately takes their positions. One person operates the sonar to track the movement of the fish. Another observes from above, holding waterproof binoculars, eyes glued to the sea surface. They not only look but also listen to the changes in the waves. The sound of the wind, even the reactions of the seagulls to guess the location of the fish. On deck, everyone works in serious silence. No one laughs or jokes. They know that with just a small mistake, the net can tear, the fish can escape, or an accident can happen. A sudden wave, a loose hook, or a tangled winch can all cost a person their life in the middle of the ocean. The calloused, sunburned hands still work skillfully, coordinating so well that it seems like there is no need to speak. As the fish are pulled up, each giant tuna, more than 1.5 meters long, is passed from hand to hand and neatly placed in the freezer. Some ships even have a fast processing area where workers cut the gills, gut them, and immediately chill them to preserve their freshness. The Seine industry in Japan is highly organized. There are clear ranks on each ship: captain, chief engineer, netman, winch operator, sonar observer. Each person undergoes many years of apprenticeship, often starting at a young age. They learn to read the waves, distinguish fish by the way they move, and learn how to choose a location to cast their net so that the current and wind direction are favorable. This experience is passed down from generation to generation, associated with the honor of each fishing village. From Japan, Seine technology and techniques spread throughout Asia. Many fishermen from Indonesia, the Philippines, or Vietnam went to Japan to learn the trade, bringing with them knowledge of organization, operation, and applying it to their home waters. In the warm waters of the South Pacific, thousands of small Seine boats operate around the clock, chasing schools of skipjack tuna, mackerel, and sardines, key supplies for the canning and export industries. What makes seining such a symbol of ingenuity is the ability to combine human power, Technology and ecological understanding. Fishermen must understand the rules of fish migration, spawning seasons, the direction of ocean currents and even the moonlight, because even the slightest change in nature can leave them empty-handed. Some years, the cold Oyashio current comes in early, fish migrate off course, and hundreds of boats return empty-handed. But other years, when the weather is favorable, huge schools of fish appear, and the harbor explodes with joy. Amidst the noise of engines, waves and the smell of salt, seining in Japan is more than just a way of life, it is the art of living with the sea. The men, even after decades at sea, still keep the habit of bowing when their ships leave port, as if asking permission from the sea god, and every time they return, they bow again, to thank them for surviving. On the deck, men bent down to check each bundle of nets. The mesh was carefully selected, not too small to avoid tearing, not too big for fish to slip through. The anchovy seine net was hundreds of meters long, wrapped neatly around a large drum, the end tightly tied to an iron winch system. Each ship usually traveled in formation, with a mother ship, a sub-ship, and a lighting ship, when the ship reached deep water a few nautical miles from shore, where warm and cold ocean currents intersected. The whole team stopped the engine, leaving only the sound of waves and wind blowing through the antenna, creating a sound like a long flute. Fishermen began to drop high-power light bulbs close to the sea surface. The orange-yellow light reflected through the waves, creating a halo hundreds of meters wide. That light was the magical bait that humans had learned from the sea. Anchovies were attracted to the light. They swam closer, and gathered in dense schools. Looking down from above, we see the water gradually turning silver, millions of small anchovies sparkling under the lights like a starry sky deep in the sea. The decisive moment has come. The captain gives the signal. A long whistle sounds, tearing the space apart. The auxiliary ship immediately rushes forward, pulling the net around the area where the fish are gathering. The net is quickly lowered, falling lightly like a silk strip drifting with the waves. The whole boat becomes urgent. Each person clings to the anchor rope, pulling, releasing, turning the winch, folding the net. In just a few minutes, the net circle closes, completely covering the giant school of anchovies. The winch roars, the cable squeals, the water surface begins to boil. Millions of panicked anchovies rush away, creating a white column of water. The lights reflect off the bodies, making the sea surface shine as if it were plated with silver. When the mouth of the net gradually narrows, the fishermen start scooping up the fish with aluminum baskets, or using a specialized vacuum cleaner. The baskets of fresh anchovies are full. The silver light covers the deck, the distinctive salty smell mixed with the smell of engine oil, sweat and sea salt. The old worker smiled. It was the smell of luck, of a bountiful fish harvest. They worked tirelessly, hand to hand. The basket of fish was poured into a large tank of cold seawater to keep it fresh. Just like that, in the middle of the night, the lights were still burning. The cheers mixed with the sound of the waves, creating the music of the sea, rustic but full of life. In Japan, the profession of catching anchovies with purse seine nets is considered one of the most sophisticated traditional techniques. Fishermen in the Nagasaki and Shizuoka regions have been catching anchovies for hundreds of years. And today they combine the ancient method with modern technology. Sonar positioning systems help determine the density of fish schools accurately, and automatic net collectors reduce labor. However, nothing can replace the eye of the captain, who can predict the school of fish just by the change in watercolor or the movement of seagulls in the sky. When they see flocks of birds swooping down, they know the anchovies are there. No device knows the sea better than people who have lived with it all their lives. In the Philippines, the anchovy purse seine is called pukot, a true work ritual. Dozens of strong young men stand in a line, pulling the net by hand in the moonlight, chanting loudly, their feet tapping the waves. They believe that the chanting helps ward off evil spirits, preventing the fish from scattering. When the net is pulled up, the whole village rushes out to help. Women picking up the fish, children carrying buckets, the elderly counting and sorting. Fresh anchovies are taken to make fish sauce, dried, or processed into fish sauce, the soul of Southeast Asian cuisine. In Vietnam, especially along the central region from Binh Thuan to Can Hoa, the anchovy season is a season of hope. As soon as it gets dark, hundreds of small boats turn on their lights and rush out to sea, trailing a long line of flickering lights. Under the moonlight, the sea looks like a city lit up. The fishermen's laughter echoed throughout the vast space. When the fish were caught in the net, they cheered with joy, each basket of small anchovies. With transparent bodies and sparkling silver light, was brought to the deck. Early the next morning, the ship returned. The smell of anchovies spread throughout the harbor. Women carried baskets of fresh fish back to the factory or dried on the sand. Each dried net, each jar of fragrant fish sauce was the result of long sleepless nights at sea. Whether in Japan, the Philippines or Vietnam, the anchovy purse seine fishing profession is associated with a separate rhythm of life. People do not only go to sea to make a living, but also to preserve tradition. On each ship, there are young apprentices, who are taught every detail: how to drop anchor, how to feel the wind, how to predict the current. They learn things that are not in books, like how to talk to the sea. Because the sea has its own temperament, sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce, those who are impatient, disregarding the laws of nature, will be punished by the sea. Many people do not understand why fishermen are willing to go out to sea in the storm just to hunt that small fish. But for them, anchovies are not just a product, they are the flesh and blood of their homeland. A gift from the sea. Each dried anchovy, each drop of clear fish sauce carries the salty taste of sweat, of wind and of faith. Every anchovy season is a season when people pray for peace, for calm seas, for their boats to return full. As dawn broke, the sea glowed red. Small boats laden with fish gradually headed towards shore. The sound of the engine mixed with the sound of the waves. Streaks of silver water spread behind. On deck, Sunburned hands were still working tirelessly. They knew that in a few hours, when the sun was high, the fish would lose their freshness. Therefore, they hurriedly transferred the fish to the ice cellar, covered it with cold salt. Some large ships had freezers. They packed the anchovies into blocks, clearly stating the date, time, and location of the catch. All were carefully recorded. That was the pride of those who valued quality over quantity. When the boat docked, the whole village was bustling. The laughter of children, the voices of adults calling to each other, the rumbling of fish trucks along the wharf. Fresh anchovies were sold right there. Some were taken to the processing factory. Some were dried on bamboo racks dozens of meters long. The smell of dried fish mixed with the sea breeze, wafting throughout the fishing village. In the golden sunlight, thousands of anchovies lie in a row, their silver bodies sparkling like a small river flowing in the middle of the drying yard. The profession of catching anchovies with Seine nets, although simple in appearance, is the crystallization of intelligence and collective labor. Each trip out to sea is a whole operating system, the person controlling the boat. The person casting the net, the person observing the light, the person sucking in the fish, the person recording the yield. Everything works like a machine controlled by faith and experience. There is no specific plan written on paper, but everyone knows what to do. They understand each other through their eyes. The sound of the waves, the rhythm of the net being thrown into the water. In the era of modernization, when steel ships, radar, and GPS have become popular, the anchovy Seine fishing profession still retains its soul. Simple, diligent, and durable. People can change the machine, change the net, but they cannot change the love of the sea. Every time the ship's lights flash in the dark night, it is not only a signal of work, but also a light of hope, the belief that tomorrow, the sea will be full again, the fish will return, and life will continue. Because, in each white-capped wave, in each small anchovy, is a long story about people and the ocean, a story without end. Where fishermen continue to persevere with sweat, courage and endless love for the ocean. In the middle of the vast ocean, there are small boats without nets, without winches, only a few men sitting quietly, holding fishing lines and dropping them deep into the deep blue water. They are fishermen, people who believe in the feeling of their hands and patience that no machine can replace. Hand fishing, seemingly simple, but contains a delicate world between people and the sea. Fishing line, hook, bait, three seemingly small things are tied to the fate of many generations of Asian fishermen. In the pale dawn, when the sun just appeared on the horizon, the sea was strangely calm. The fishermen were already on the boat. They checked each line, smoothing it gently, because even a small fray could cause the line to break when a big fish bit the hook. Each person had their own way of winding the line. Some wrapped it around a wooden board. Others used a small roll like a drum. The bait is meticulously prepared. Sometimes it is small fish. Sometimes it is squid. Sometimes it is just a small piece of meat soaked in fish oil. For them, the bait is not only to attract fish, but also an invitation, a respect for the creature they want to catch. When the boat leaves the shore, the atmosphere on the deck gradually becomes solemn. Everyone is silent, only the sound of waves and the sound of fishing line sliding through their fingers. The fishermen do not throw the line haphazardly. They feel the flow, the wind direction, the color of the water, then gently lower the bait. The thin line gradually sinks, dragging the small, sparkling hook with it. The feeling of waiting is the soul of this profession, both calm and tense. Their hands hold the line. Their eyes look far away. Their ears listen to every movement of the sea. When the fish bites, even if it is just a light touch, the fisherman will feel it through their fingertips, a small, delicate vibration like a heartbeat. They do not jerk immediately, but patiently wait a beat, then gently pull, so that the hook goes deep into the fish's mouth. At that moment, when the line is tight, the fisherman's heart is also tense. The struggle begins. The fish struggles deep down. The line vibrates strongly, sometimes jerking back, causing pain to the fingers. The fisherman bends down, pulling the line up bit by bit. No rod, no machine, all is the strength of the hands. Experience and feeling. They know when to let go, when to pull, when the fish is tired and when it still has the strength to resist. There are big fish. It takes dozens of minutes to bring them up. When they appear, the silver light under the water flashes. The sea surface splashes with foam, and the whole boat cheers with joy. In Japan, the traditional hand fishing is called tea-zuri. Fishermen in Hokkaido or Kagoshima still maintain this method to hunt tuna or mackerel. They believe that hand fishing helps to keep the best quality of fish because the fish is not crushed, does not panic. The meat is firm and stays fresh longer. A hand-fished tuna can be sold for twice the price of a net-fished one. Fishermen here consider fishing an art, where people must understand fish, understand the sea, understand themselves. They say that a good fisherman can guess the type of fish just by feeling the vibration of the line, or know whether the fish is big or small just by the initial pull. In the Philippines or Indonesia, thousands of fishermen still make a living by hand fishing for tuna and swordfish offshore. They go out on small wooden boats, carrying a few buckets of water, a little rice, bait, and faith. During the day, they sit still under the hot sun, the fishing line hanging dozens of meters deep, their hands always touching the line as if talking to the ocean. At night, they turn on oil lamps or flashlights to attract fish. Sometimes they have to sit for hours, even all day without a single jerk. But they are still patient, because just one big fish, weighing dozens of kilos, can feed the whole family. In Vietnam, from Phu Quai Island, Siu Lao Cam to Lai Sun, hand fishing is still considered the soul of fishermen. Small boats are not afraid of going far from shore, only need a few men, a little bait and fishing line to go dozens of nautical miles. Some fish for snapper, some for grouper, some for mackerel. They sit all night, hands holding the line tightly, eyes looking at the darkness ahead. When the fish bites, they jerk hard, then pull and release it following the rhythm of the waves. The fishing line is as thick as a finger. The hook is as sharp as a knife blade. The big groupers, weighing up to tens of kilograms, when pulled up, have silvery red bodies, wide open mouths, eyes sparkling in the light. The joy is indescribable. Hand-caught fish are always more valuable than net fish because of their freshness and meat quality. When the fish are pulled up, fishermen immediately clean them and chill them with sea ice. Some large ships have a freezing system right on deck. The fish are cooled down quickly, preserving their color and flavor. Each fish is neatly arranged, marked, and recorded with the time and location of fishing. Each fish is like a trophy, a memory of a duel between man and the sea. This job requires not only health but also peace of mind. Good fishermen often talk very little. They learn to be silent to listen to the sound of the sea. The sound of the stretched line. The sound of the fish struggling. Sometimes they sit alone in the middle of the sea for hours, just to feel the breath of the waves. The feeling when a giant fish bites the hook is something no one can forget. The line vibrates strongly. Hands tremble, heart beats fast, then the whole body tenses. When the fish is pulled up, sweat is soaked, shoulders are tired, but joy is overflowing. They looked at the fish with respect, the one who had just fought with them. A worthy opponent. When night fell, the wind blew harder, the fishermen sat in the dark. Only the small light of the lamp reflected on the water. The moon shone on the fishing line, creating a thin streak of light like a silver thread. They told each other stories of the sea, stories of family, stories of encounters with giant fish. Laughter echoed among the waves, then fell into silence. The sea was vast, but the fishermen's hearts were always calm. They knew they were small in front of the ocean, but it was that smallness that made them more attached to the sea than ever. Every morning, when the sunlight dyed the water golden, the boat returned. Fresh fish lay lined up on the deck, sparkling silver. Along the shore, relatives were waiting. Calls and laughter mixed with the sounds of seabirds. That feeling of peace was the greatest reward for the tiring days and nights. They not only brought back fish, but also stories of courage, of perseverance, and of the belief that with just 2 hands and a rope, people can still conquer the ocean. Fishing with hands and a rope is not just a job. It is the way people talk to the sea. Each time they drop the bait into the water is a greeting. Each time they pull the rope is an answer. Amidst all the modern technology, hand fishing still exists as a witness of time, simple but eternal.